How's it going, everyone? We good? I've got the subway here. They've still got the human drivers on the subway. I thought they'd have the robot ones said this summer. I'm waiting to see if the robot drivers also lean out the window, like they just do nothing with the information that they see. Why are you doing that? Just get back in there. Get back in there. Robot drivers. You won't be able to talk to your train driver anymore. That was the best part of my day, having a chat with Fred. But unless, you can't talk to robots, unless they get one of the sex ones. But then they have to put a sign saying, "Oh, please don't shag the driver." Fuck me, Kelvin Bridge. Unrelated, I'm going to call my son Kelvin Bridge. Has anyone just been sitting there? Just so you know, look out for Kelvin Bridge May. Has anyone been sitting down to like a nice Italian meal and just thought, lasagna's like bunk beds for cheese, isn't it? Little tomato blanket, little mince pillow. I was sitting down for dinner with my dad recently and we were talking about the war in Ukraine and just saying how grateful we are that, that it came to a swift conclusion. Because, that could have dragged on. I think what worked really well was the sanctions. I think they were super effective. I think it was when we said to Russia, you can't use MasterCard now. They were like, oh, we better stop killing Ukrainians. Because what works for us is that, Russians have never really known hardship. So when we said, look, you can't access Disney Plus anymore, they were like, oh no, this is almost as bad as when we had to share guns in World War II. They're literally out there in Siberia stabbing Nazis with icicles, and I know this is way worse, we can't use PayPal. Oil? Who's going to drive less? Now oil's expensive, drive a bit less. Would you drive less if you had to drill for your own oil? That's the question I've been thinking about. Do you want to go down the shops? No, I've just spent £6 million on exploratory oil well in Glasgow Park. Didn't find any oil, but I did find the skeleton of a policeman who tried to stop Glaswegians from day drinking. It's like, yeah, everyone loves Glasgow Park, but at some point it's like 2 p.m. It's like, shouldn't you guys be in school? You're fucking solar-powered BAMs. Yeah, that's the future. They're solar-powered. Don't laugh. Renewable BAMs. I shouldn't say BAM. I don't want to be BAM. Look at me. Yeah, people make Glasgow. People make Glasgow. That's the slogan of the town. Big up yourself. It's a good slogan, right? Yeah. But what it feels like, right? When you see that written on a building, it feels like an excuse for poor infrastructure. It's like, why are the roads in Glasgow so shit? And it's like, well, it's people that make Glasgow. It's not the roads. So the council's spending money on something, it's not the roads, tell you that. See, with the bins, the council's only got to spend money on the bins, the roads, they're both fucked. I guess they might be starting a fox sanctuary or something, I don't know. Why is there so many foxes? We get a fox orphanage up here or something. Anyway, people make Glasgow. I was actually assaulted in lockdown, I haven't said that, I love people here, but I was assaulted. And it was very traumatic, I had to go to the sheriff's court with it. And when I actually got to the sheriff's court, it was terrifying because everyone arrives at the same time. You all arrive in the lobby and everyone's just milling around. And I went through, it was a year and a half to get to court. I finally got to court, went through security and I joined the queue and it was very confusing. I got to the front of the queue, like they said, no, this is the defendant's queue, you need the snitches area upstairs. And I went upstairs and I was like, you need the snitches room. I was like, what's the snitches room? And it was a room of prosecution witnesses, the most scared room you've ever been in your life. It was literally that people were like vibrating out of terror. One guy, there was a lady who came around, sort of asked us, got any questions and that. One guy was like, yeah, how do we not run into the defendants on the way out of the court, like afterwards? And I was like, yeah, that's a great question. Like, how does that? And I swear to God, a policeman leaned into the conversation and he said, don't worry about it, lads. We give you guys a half an hour head start. And I was like, I'm about to testify against the guy for chasing me. Like, his crime was to run after me. Like, I need more time. I tell him I'm dyslexic. Anyway, it went on for like 4 hours of terror. The guy finally tired himself out. And I went up to the desk and the clerk said, look, he's actually snitched on himself and you can go home. I was like, thank God, this has been hanging over my head for so long. I'm terrified of this and all this, and it's such a weight off my shoulders. And she was like, what are you still doing then? No, you got 29 minutes. Run! I'm Leo May. Follow me on Instagram, Leo May Live. Thank you very much.